So dear students, today we will discuss about why do metals and non-metals react. Dear students, metals they react with many reagents. They undergo different chemical reactions. They react with non-metals and they form a library of compounds. Dear students, in a similar way, non-metals they also react with other metals and non-metals also reacts with certain non-metals and with different reagents, and again a library of compounds are formed. So these metals and non-metals, dear students, they react with reagents, with metals or with non-metals and form different compounds. So what is the reason why they do so, why they react with each other? Dear students, the force that holds two atoms together, the force that holds two, or we can say more, atoms within a compound or molecule is called as, or is called, a chemical bond. So dear students, in a molecule or in a compound we have different or same type of atoms. They are held together by a force, and that force is known as the chemical bond. So let's find out the reason why atoms of different elements, whether it may be an metal or a non-metal, why they react with one another. Dear students, if we take the case of helium noble gases or inert gases or zero group elements of the periodic table, so we have helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. These are the symbols of the elements, and their atomic number is: helium is having 2, neon 10, argon 18, krypton 36, xenon 54, and 86 is the atomic number for radon. And if we write the electronic configuration, we have first shell, that's a K, second is L, third is M, N, O, P, and so on. So in case of helium we have 2 electrons, and the first shell can accommodate a maximum of 2 electrons, and the second 2, and second can accommodate maximum 8 electrons, and similarly 2, 8, 8. Then for krypton 2, 8, 18, 8, and then xenon 2, 8, 18, 18, 8, and lastly for radon 2, 8, 18, 32, 18, 8. So dear students, in the last shell of helium we have two electrons. This is known as duplet. So first shell, that is K shell, it can accommodate a maximum of two electrons. So we call it duplet. And the rest of these electrons, they contain 8 electrons. We call it as octet. Dear students, all these elements, they have completely filled lost shell. That is the duplet or the octet. Dear students, now what is the effect of this electronic configuration, complete filled electronic configuration, on the behavior of these elements? Dear students, the behavior of these noble gases is that they do not combine with other elements. They do not combine with other elements, or they do not combine even with their own atoms. So dear students, the reason is that they have completely filled lost shell. So we can say these elements, they are inert. That is why these noble gases, they are also known as inert gases. Inert means they do not react, they are chemically unreactive, and that's why they exist as monoatomic gases. Monoatomic gases. Dear students, now discussing the concept of these noble gases, we can compare it with other elements. Suppose we have an element that's having incompletely filled lost shell. So that's not chemically inert, that is highly reactive, or we can say that's unstable, that is reactive. So that element tries to have its octet or duplet complete. So that tendency to have its octet or duplet complete makes that atom chemically reactive, and that reacts, that combines with other reagents, metals or non-metals, so as to have the filled electronic configuration, so as to follow the octet rule. Suppose we have an element that is sodium. Dear students, the atomic number is sodium of sodium is 11. Its electronic configuration is 2, 8 and 1. Dear students, in its lost shell, that is M shell, it should have 8 electrons. अगर इसके पास 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन होते तो ये स्टेबल होता, केमिकली इनर्ट होता. But the sodium is in short of 7 electrons. So what happens? Gaining 7 electrons is not a possible option. It easily loses 1 electron. It forms Na positive, and its electronic configuration becomes 2 and 8. So during its process of losing electron, and another uh, atom of other elements gains that electron, and formation of ions takes place, and they are held together uh, with force of attraction, resulting in the formation of a compound or a molecule. So actually this is the background basics why atoms of different elements combine with each other. Dear students, this is the introductory lecture, and in other lectures we will see how a metal combines with non-metal, how non-metals combine with each other, how a non-metal combines with other non-metal. So in those lectures this concept uh, will be elaborated, and you will easily understand this concept, why atoms of different elements combine with each other. I hope that you will like this class. Thanks.